I'm Dutch, and let's react to the Americans. Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Johan, and I'm a typical Dutchman. And if you're planning to come over to Europe for your holidays, or maybe to live here permanently, or you're wondering what are the differences between Europe and the United States, then you are at the right channel. Because in this channel I take a look at and react to videos about life and living in America versus life and living in Europe, or specifically the Netherlands. And for today we're gonna take a look at a video from Bang Dull News. Dull News. I'm gonna subscribe and like, and I'm the first liker, so how old is this video? I see no comments. 8 views. Oh, 9 hours ago. Oh, it's a recently new video. Okay. And it's going to be about the real history of Halloween, from ancient rituals to modern celebration. And living over here in Europe, and now in the Netherlands, and I've been on tour in the Netherlands, in Limburg, the last couple of weeks. That's why I have not that much videos lately, because I was busy campaigning with my party. And I saw again a lot of spider webbing and spiders and scary stuff popping up in everybody's homes and gardens and front doors. And oh yeah, we're gonna get Halloween again. But that's something that's over here in the Netherlands that I do not understand. I don't know. I know that in America it's regularly done, but I do not know about the history and why it's been done. And so I do not understand why it's been done over here in the Netherlands or in Europe in general. So I thought it's good. It could be a good video to take a look at, because he's talking about the real history of Halloween. So I'm curious. I know there is Halloween, but I do not know what it is, but what the idea behind this, like Thanksgiving and Christmas, that's all clear to me. But what is it with Halloween? So let's take a look at it. And if you like this kind of videos and reaction videos, then maybe it's a good idea to hit the subscribe button. And it would be really appreciated if you do. Well, let's take a look without further ado, as they say, at the history of Halloween. Ho, 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 ho.
On the last night of October, millions light candles, carve faces into pumpkins, and dress like the dead. But few remember where it all began. This celebration of ghosts and monsters was once a sacred night of fire and fear.
Fire and fear. Hey?
Long before candy and costumes, there was Samhain.
Who? Samhain?
The night when the dead returned to walk among the living.
Zombie. Hoo, hoo, hoo.
Long before Christianity, before the Roman Empire, the Celtic peoples of ancient Ireland, Scotland, and Wales celebrated a sacred night called Samhain, spelled
Samhain.
Samhain. For the Celts, this was not just another festival. It marked the end of harvest and the beginning of the cold, dark season, a time when life and death brushed close together.
Yeah, he's right. Is it October? Most of the time over here in Europe, you get switching of summertime to wintertime in our time zones. Okay. It marks the end of the warm days and announcing. Okay.
They believed that during Samhain, the boundary between the living and the dead became thin. Spirits could return, wandering freely through the world of men. To protect themselves, villagers lit great bonfires on the hills. Flames that reached the sky symbolized safety, warmth, and the hope of surviving winter.
Hmm.
People wore animal skins and frightening masks so that wandering spirits would mistake them for fellow ghosts and pass
Oh,
them by.
it's AI generated, so he's repeating it all over.
At the edge of every village, offerings of food and drink were left outside, gifts for ancestors or protection from mischievous spirits. For the Celts, Samhain was not evil. It was a night of respect for the dead and gratitude for the harvest. The modern image of Halloween, the costumes, the fear, the fire, all began here 2 millennia ago.
So the Celts, the Irish, the Scottish, and the British brought over this, um, yeah, part of history, this part of their culture to the United States.
Under the flickering light of Celtic bonfires.
By the 1st century AD, the Roman Empire had conquered much of Celtic Europe. As often happened, cultures blended, and Roman festivals merged with local
Traditions. Okay.
traditions. One of these was Feralia, a Roman day to honor the dead, and another was Pomona, a festival for the goddess of fruits and trees. Pomona's symbol was the apple, a small detail that survives even today in the Halloween game of bobbing for apples.
Bobbing for apples in the Halloween game. So nowadays, bobbing is it when you try to, with your hands on your back, to bite or to grab an apple out of a bowl of water? Is that what they're calling with bobbing for the apples?
As Roman customs mixed with Samhain rituals, the Night of the Dead gained new flavors, less about fear and more about remembrance and harvest. But the biggest transformation was yet to come.
As
Yeah.
centuries passed, a new religion spread across Europe, Christianity.
Okay.
The church sought to replace old pagan rituals.
It's rather repeating the same scene within the text.
With Christian celebrations. But rather than destroy them completely, many traditions were reimagined under new names. In the 8th century, Pope Gregory III declared November 1st as All Saints' Day,
All Saints Day. Yeah, I know.
also known as All Hallows' Day. The night before became All Hallows' Eve, which, over time, was shortened to Halloween. This clever adaptation allowed the church to honor the dead while slowly transforming ancient beliefs into Christian meaning. People still lit candles to guide lost souls, but now they prayed for saints instead of fearing spirits. In villages, old Celtic bonfires became Christian vigils. The night was still one of remembrance, but now framed within the language of faith.
Through the Middle Ages, Halloween, or All Hallows' Eve, took on new layers of superstition. People believed witches flew through the night sky, guided by demons. Farmers left bowls of milk outside for wandering souls,
Okay.
hoping for protection of their cattle and crops. In some regions, children and the poor went door to door, singing prayers for the dead in exchange.
Walking door to door. Poor children walked door to door. Okay. Nowadays, I know, at least in the United States, it's trick or treat. Yeah.
For small cakes, known as soul cakes. This practice, called souling, was the earliest form of what we now know as trick-or-treat. It was a time when Europe lived between light and darkness, faith and fear, intertwined. In literature and art, Halloween appeared in ghost stories, poems, and folk songs, reflecting humanity's eternal fascination with the afterlife. By the 1500s and 1600s, fear of the supernatural reached its peak. Across Europe,
Witch trials and accusations spread panic through towns and villages.
Okay, yeah. Ooh, yeah, I know.
Halloween became associated not only with
But he's saying that Halloween was already in Europe before it was in the United States by the 15 and 1600s. Am I 15, 1600s? The United States just celebrate the 250th. So, yeah, 15, 1600s, there was no United States at that point. So, over in Europe, we already celebrated Halloween before it became a tradition in the United States. And I was, until I see this, I was under the impression that the United States started this tradition based on culture coming over from Europe to the United States. And then we adapted that tradition into our culture and now celebrating Halloween, of which I thought, why? It's something typical American. But I am wrong. And I did not know this. Wow.
spirits, but with witchcraft, black cats, and omens of death. Yet many of these beliefs came from misunderstanding old symbols. The black cat, once sacred in ancient Celtic lore, became a sign of evil. The
Yeah, if a black cat crosses your path, you are doomed to be unlucky for the next, I don't know, 7 days or so.
bonfire, originally a blessing, was twisted into tales of dark rituals. Still, behind every superstition lay humanity's attempt to understand nature, death, and destiny. Halloween, through these centuries, reflected the fears and beliefs of its time.
In the 17th and 18th centuries, millions of Europeans crossed the Atlantic in
yeah.
search of a new life. Among them were Irish and Scottish immigrants who carried their ancient customs with them, including Samhain and All Hallows' Eve. In colonial America, life was hard and deeply religious. At first, Halloween was not widely celebrated. Puritan settlers in New England rejected anything connected to witchcraft or paganism. But in the southern colonies, especially in Maryland and Virginia, communities began holding harvest festivals and telling ghost stories around bonfires. By the mid-1800s, Irish immigrants fleeing the Great Famine brought with them a rich tradition of Halloween games, pranks, and storytelling.
Wow. Yeah. Like I said, I did not know this. I'm learning.
It was during this time that the custom of carving faces into vegetables, originally turnips in Ireland, transformed in America into the carving of pumpkins. The soft orange pumpkin was easier to carve, and soon it became the glowing symbol of Halloween we know today, the jack. According to Irish legend,
Okay. There was the jack-o'-lantern, but the text failed.
a man named Stingy Jack tricked the devil himself. When Jack died, neither heaven nor hell would accept him. Condemned to wander the earth, he carried a burning coal inside a carved turnip to light his way. People began carving their own lanterns to scare away his restless spirit. Thus, the jack-o'-lantern was born. Over time, his story became a Halloween tradition, a symbol of both mischief and protection against darkness. By the early 1900s, Halloween in America had evolved into a community celebration. Parades, parties, and playful pranks filled the night. Children began dressing in costumes and visiting neighbors for small treats, reviving the medieval souling custom in a new way. By the 1930s, the phrase trick or treat became common, meaning give us a treat or expect a harmless prank. After World
Oh, expect a harmless prank. Threats. A harmless prank. That's where they all has. Extortion.
World War II, with sugar once again widely available, candy companies promoted Halloween as the sweetest night of the year.
Yeah, of course, companies make money.
What had once been a pagan festival of fear had now become a joyful, family-friendly celebration. Halloween was no longer about survival or religion. It was about imagination, community, and fun.
In the second half of the 20th century, Halloween exploded in popularity. Movies like Halloween, 1978, Hocus Pocus, and The Nightmare Before Christmas turned the holiday into a cultural phenomenon. Costumes expanded beyond ghosts and monsters, now including superheroes, celebrities, and every pop icon imaginable. Decorations became bigger, scarier, and more creative. Haunted houses, horror films, and TV specials made October the month of fear and fantasy. And through the internet age, Halloween spread across the globe, celebrated in Japan, Europe.
Yeah, Europe. So it came from Europe and it went to the United States and now it's back in Europe. But we did not, yeah, in my youth, I did not see in my uh, direct community or in my city that we celebrated Halloween. It's something that came in the last, let's say, 20 to 25 years that we starting to celebrate more and more this U.S. Tradition called Halloween without even knowing why we're doing it.
And even parts of South America and Asia. A night that began in ancient Celtic fires had now become a worldwide festival of creativity.
Today, Halloween is celebrated across the world. From the crowded streets of New York City to the bustling cosplay events in Tokyo, from Dia de los Muertos in Mexico to
Yeah, but de los Muertos is, I think, not only in Mexico, but I believe also in another big city. Bond movies. And they've been there, and I've seen another series. Oh, the name. Damn, I do not know the name anymore. But that is something else I thought than Halloween. Remembering the dead is something that you should do, and celebrating the life, and also remembering that, yeah, that's something different than Halloween, in my humble opinion.
festivals in Europe, the night has taken on countless forms. But what makes Halloween truly special isn't just candy, costumes, or scary movies. It's the way humans embrace imagination, face fears safely, and connect with both past and present. A night that once honored the dead and warned of the coming winter now allows us to play with fantasy and identity, to become anything or anyone we desire.
Psychologists say Halloween
Cosplay.
gives us a rare opportunity to explore fear in a controlled environment. By confronting monsters, ghosts, and darkness in play, we understand courage, creativity, and the boundaries of our imagination. It is a night when adults and children alike can experience thrills without real danger. A ritual of joy wrapped in mystery.
The story of Halloween reminds us that history is alive. Every lantern, every costume, every story told around a bonfire carries echoes of ancient peoples, their fears, and their celebrations. Halloween is not just about ghosts and candy. It is a bridge between past and present, life and death, fear and fun.
So next October 31st, as you light a pumpkin or dress up in a costume, remember, you are part of a tradition that has lasted more than 2,000 years.
This snow.
Okay. Interesting video. Like I said, I learned something. It taught me something new. Although the repeating AI did not make it a better video. It was about the text. It was about the content that I liked. But the building of the video was a bit, boring. And finally, I saw even that the subtitles were not even. But yeah, I would say an interesting video. Yeah, and I learned something, and maybe I'm gonna do some more because I see in my corner right over here. I have to scroll down to show you. For true Halloween stories. So I see some Halloween feels different now. So I see some videos now popping up in the playlist about Halloween. So maybe I'm gonna do some more. Let me know in the comments if I should dive more into the history of Halloween. Then I will. For now, I hope you liked the video, and if you did, then press like, and otherwise you can look at other videos of mine on this is a good place to start, and it would really be appreciated if you hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.